In this case study question, the question says two friends are playing Scribble. One of them has made the word garden. Based on the information, you have to answer the following question. So the word here is garden. It says how many, the first part says that in how many different words can be formed with the letters of the word garden. That means these letters of the garden, as you can see, it is a 6-letter words. So if I write this is GARDEN. So this 6-letter words, as we know that these 6-letter words can be arranged in order to form a distinct, right? We can use permutation formula as 6p6 only, which is nothing but 6 factorial. And 6 factorial is what? 12 into 6 into 120, that is 720. So since we have to find distinct letters, we can say that the answer for this part will be 720. Distinct words we have to find, so therefore no repetition is, and moreover there is no letters which is repeating, so this will be the answer for the first part. Now look into the next part. It says how many of these words will start with the letter R and end with the letter D. So we can say that if I erase this, I have to start with the letter R and end with the letter, ending with the letter E. So we can see that after fixing R at its first place and E at its next place, we are left with 1, 2, 3, 4. So the remaining 4 letters can be arranged in 4 factorial ways, and that is equal to 24. So we'll say that the answer for the next part is 24. In the next part, it says in how many of these words will have all vowels together. So you can figure out that we have 2 vowels here, that is A and E. So they are has to be together. That means we have to fix them as a single object. We'll consider them this to be a single object. Now, besides this A and E, how many more letters? Considering this to be a single object, we can say that out of these 6, that is 6 minus 2, removing this or fixing AE together, joining together, we'll consider this to be a single object, this to be a single object. So we are left with 4 more objects. So together we can say we have 5 objects that can be arranged in 5 factorial ways. Since we have this, considering this to be one object, 1 plus 4, because the remaining 4 letters, after considering AE to be a single object, or because they are together, we are left with 4 more objects. That means 1 plus 4, and they are distinct. So there are 5. So I can arrange them in 5 factorial ways. Further, we can notice that these letter A and E can swap their position in 2 different ways, like A first, later, and E first, A after that. So that is 120 into 2, that is equal to 240. Now in the third part, it says how many of these words do not starts with the letter A but ends with the letter E. That means one thing is confirmed, that the last letter has to be fixed with E. Now look into the options we have for placing this. Out of the letter of the word garden, say GARDEN, we have fixed E. So we can say that E cannot be, E is already fixed here. So how many letters we have? We have 4 plus 1, 5 letters, but it says that A should not take the first place. So ignoring A and E, we are left with 4 more letters. Ignoring A and E, we are left with these 4 letters, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can say that the first place here, the first place in this case can be placed by 4 different ways. By that means 4 of these can come. Now, after placing any of these letters out of these 5, except for A, now look into this second position from the left. We have 6 letters, out of which 2 is already occupied. Now, this place, that is the second place from the left, can have the letter A as well. So once again, we had 6 letters and we have placed 2. So we are left with 4 ways, including A. And there is no condition that A cannot be placed here. I can place A or any other letter left over. Now, then we will be left with 3, this with 2, and this with 1. So therefore, the total possible way is 4 into 4 into 3 into 2. That comes out 16 into 48 into 2, 96. So the answer for this part is 96. Now we are on the fifth part, that is the E part. It says how many of these words will start with the letter vowel. So you can see that we have the word GARDEN, and the vowels here is one is A and the other vowel is E. So these are the two vowels. So since they are asking that the word should start with the letter a vowel, that means this first place can be placed in two different ways, either A or E, any one of them. Now the remaining these 5 slots, right? Since one place is occupied here either by A or E, we are still left with 5 letters, and they can take they can be placed in 5 factorial ways. So that comes out to be 1 into 5 factorial is 120, 2 into 2 into 5 factorial is 120, 2 into 120 is 240. So we can say that this for answer for this part will be 240. This is how all these 5 parts can be done.